Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hot Toys Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman 1984. The movie may not have been the best, but this might be the best Hot Toys Wonder Woman that's been released yet. Let's find out. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, just taking a look at the front of the package, you have a nice image of Gal Gadot here. This is as Wonder Woman. This is a photograph of her in costume. This is not the figure itself, because this particular figure has something that no other Wonder Woman figure has, and that's rooted hair. So we can tell that that's definitely not the figure right there. It's got this nice little wraparound, kind of like what they do with Star Wars, where they have that little cigar band that goes around the bottom, but this is made out of plastic and it's very thick, and that's really nice. It does wrap around to both sides. You have Wonder Woman written in her lasso font right there. It says Wonder Woman 84. Nice, really nice box here. And then of course you have all the credits here on the back. Taking the top of the box off, setting it to the side, you can see on the inside here it says Truth, Love, and Justice Wonder Woman. Then it's got that same kind of logo upside down and all over the place throughout. No picture of the figure like they normally do, but I kind of dig that. And then taking the little slip cover off, there you have it. There's everything inside of the package. Of course, with the plastic clamshell over it, it's kind of hard to see. So, man, but just first glances, she looks incredible, and I'm glad to get that rooted hair. I've waited all this time to get Wonder Woman so I could get one with rooted hair, and I love the bright, vibrant costume, which is why I went with this one and not one from like BVS or Justice League. So let's get her opened up, and let's get all the accessories out, and let's take a closer look at everything that's inside the package. Okay, here's all of her accessories opened up and out of the package, and first off, we're going to take a look at the display base. Again, we have another really nice picture of Gal Gadot here as Wonder Woman. You can see the nice Wonder Woman logo placed all over the bright and colorful Wonder Woman symbol right there on the front. She does come with a waist holder instead of a crotch grabber, and it even has red tips, which is nice because where this is supposed to hold her matches in with the red on her armor. So I think that's pretty cool that they did that. Next up, of course, she has two relaxed palms out on the figure out of the package, but here we have two fists with the leather wraps that look really nice. We have two whip wielding hands. So this one is for wielding the whip, and this is for holding another piece of the whip that we're going to have take a look at here in just a second. And then we have two sort of like gripping hands, or sort of, maybe if you have the sword from a previous release, the God Killer, then maybe you could put it in this hand here. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would be using that hand for anything. And then more of a gesturing hand, which I really do like and may be using in my display. You do get different styles of whips. This little piece right here is to go into her hand like this. So it looks like she's holding the whip itself. And then you would use that in conjunction with the actual rope whip that you can uncurl. Now there's no wire in here, but it does have a little bit of memory, but not a lot. But you can keep this. I'm going to try to keep this sort of wrapped up a little bit, because I think I may keep this on her belt. But that's this whip here. It's just rope, and then you have this whip here, which has this spinning bullet deflecting effect, and this rope is not rope. This whip here is actually wire, so you can see how you can actually use this to pose. And it stays in whatever position that you bend it in. So that's kind of nice that they give us both versions of the whip. The lasso. I'm sorry, why I keep calling it a whip? It's the lasso of truth. I don't know why I'm calling it a whip. But you can have her wielding this, like spinning it above her head, or out front, spinning it It looks really nice. That's a really cool effect that they give us, but not one that I think I may be using on mine in my display. And then the only other thing we get here are some bullet deflecting effect pieces, and they have little magnets in them, and they magnetize to her armor. So you have a small, a medium, and a large bullet deflecting effect. So let's get the accessories out of the way and take a closer look at Wonder Woman herself. All right, here she is, the star of the show, Wonder Woman herself. And we're going to take a closer look at her. And I got to tell you, I've seen the speculation online. I've seen the comments, and some people have been talking about how they don't feel like this is the best likeness. I absolutely don't get it. I just do not get it whatsoever. To me, this looks like Gal Gadot through and through. I don't see one angle at all on her that does not look like Gal. She just looks, this sculpt is spot on, and it just looks everything. The gaze, the stare, the way she's kind of looking slightly upward, especially if you like bend the head down just a little bit. I mean, to me, this is just spot on Gal Gadot. You can also remove the tiara. You want to be very careful when doing so, but you can remove this and get a little bit more of that likeness in there, and just looks so good. I do have a hard time with this head staying on. You'll hear me snap it on, but it does have a tendency to want to like come off really easily. And there you can even see more of her furrowed brow without the tiara on, and I think it looks really nice. But to me, she just looks fantastic with it on. So we're going to go ahead and just slide this back in. We're going to be very gentle. We don't want to scuff up the paint in any way, and we definitely don't want to break this very thin plastic tiara. Yeah, there we go. That just looks incredible. We maybe want to slide it a little bit higher and center it back a little bit. There we have it. Just looks great. The hair is very soft and pliable and moves out of the way. I'm so happy that we got sculpted hair finally. To me, the rooted hair just looks frizzy, and it just kind of goes all over the place and just looks kind of weird to me. I've never really cared for it, but the head is on a ball joint, as you have seen, and just moves around, and you can see how easily the head moves with that hair, and the hair just gets right out of the way. I love that the hair is sort of layered, and you get these little sculpted bits that are here and here. To me, it just looks super nice. Now, I will say right off the bat, this figure is very heavy because there is an under metal exoskeleton or endoskeleton on the inside. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Maybe I'll try right here on the shoulder. But the arms, the skin is very gummy, and you can see there. So I don't know how that's going to hold up over time. Hopefully Hot Toys has sort of done some testing on this. But you can see that, she's got a nice range of motions for this to be like a metal endoskeleton and a rubbery, pliable skin. It feels very much like it's just like a rubbery material, and then that's so you get like these seamless joints. And I think like when you bend, like right here at the elbow, you get that little crease. To me, that looks natural. That looks like a natural arm crease. So it just looks really nice. The body moves very nicely. So I'm digging that. Turning it around here on the back so you can see more of that sculpted hair. It just looks incredible. To me, this is the only way to go, is sculpted hair on female figures. That's just me. It's just my opinion. But that's how I'm liking it. To me, I dig it. Let's see here. Moving down, you can see the bright colored armor, which just looks absolutely incredible. The bright reds, the bright blues, the gold. You can see her whip right here, and there's a little tiny peg right there that Again, I called it a whip. Where her lasso goes is a little peg. I wish they would have used a magnet here, because I'm afraid that little plastic peg may break over time. But you can see where her whip goes. Geez, her lasso. How many times am I going to call it a whip? Gosh. Now, her lower skirt is actually kind of made out of this papery material. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's kind of like this papery material. It reminds me of the bottom part of Boba Fett, his armor, his tunic that hangs down low. It feels like it's got like a papery feel to it. And that's what this feels like. But it's nice and glossy, has a nice texture to it, and that gold trim looks fantastic. You can see that she has some really nice metallic looking, even though it's plastic. I think the metal, I think there might be the magnets are like right underneath here for the effects to hook onto. Let's see how that works. Let's pull one in, see if I can. Like, where do they magnetize to? Oh, okay, there you go. There we go. We got one on that side to stick, and right there. So yeah. So I wonder if the larger ones stick a little bit better. Let's try the medium-sized one. Yeah. So you can kind of put it all up and down this one area right here. It's not really right here on the side. It's only on the front side, on this longer part that's even with her arm and her back of her hand. So that's kind of cool. I may set her up in that kind of a pose, deflecting bullets in my display, and you can see the open palms, the relaxed hands that come on her in the package. Over here on this arm, you can see she's got a little band right around her bicep, which looks nice. And then moving down to the armor on the knees and the legs, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Now this piece is an extra piece that is separate and kind of moves and bends out of the way. You can see there on the articulation. You also hear those ratchet joints. I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but they're there. Nice armor. I love the way this looks. And then the rubbery part of her leg stops right there at the ankle, and then it's a separate piece that kind of moves like for the foot. So like the foot is more of a hard plastic. It's not that small rubbery material, and you do get a nice. It's the first time I've ever seen like an actual screw be visible on a foot peg on a Hot Toys figure. And typically those are just like they're standard joints and not an actual screw. I've never seen one of those before, but I've never had a Wonder Woman figure before, so maybe they've been there before, and I just haven't noticed. But yeah, so that's going over the details of Diana here. So let's look again at the range of motion. The head can turn. You can go all the way around. She can look down. Man, let me see. Is this head popped off again? The head just does not want to stay on. She can look down about that far, but the hair wants to push her back. She can look back about that far. So not the greatest range of motion on the head tilt. Still feel like this tiara is not on right. But you do get some nice side-to-side motion. The head just keeps wanting to pop off. I'm sorry, guys. You can bend her neck down a little bit like that, so she can look down a little bit further, but you do have to bend at the neck. Now, as far as like moving forward on the arm does move forward a little bit, but you start getting these weird bunches right here, but that's about as far forward as the arm will raise. Down, it can go into a nice T-pose, no problem, but you're not going to be able to get this arm to go all the way around. It's just not going to happen. You have single joint at the elbow, but you can get well past 90. You have your standard ball peg for the hands. I would imagine that there is some sort of articulation in the body, but because of this armor and it all being like one big piece, you're not going to get any range of motion there at all. As far as the legs go, she can kick forward all the way, no problem. I don't know how far back she'll be able to go. Oh, a lot further back than I expected. And then the knees are on a ratchet single joint, but she does get past 90, a little bit past 90. So she can kick back about that far. And then the ankles are on a pivot and a rocker, so they swivel, and you can get some nice pivot and tilt there. But you do want to be careful because look there, I just bunched up all of her skirt just by moving her leg forward. So I'll need to adjust that and bring that back down so that doesn't stay bunched up. So let's get her into some poses and see how well she poses up.